And welcome back to This Week in the Mohawk Valley. Time now for the Central New York Travel Show. Kelly Blazowski from Oneida Tourism with us this morning. Kelly, how are you?
I'm great. Good morning.
Good morning. We're going to talk about a great event that's coming up, Maple Weekend.
Something sweet. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It is Maple Weekend's time as we're approaching. I can't believe we're into March as far as we are already. But this morning we have joining us Keith Schiebel from VVS and with the FFA program, and Jonathan Perry, current president of the FFA at VVS. So good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining me this morning to talk about Maple Weekends. And Keith, your team has been involved in Maple Weekends really since probably the inception.
Yep, and actually started about year 2000, and we're partway through our Maple season this year, and look forward to a very successful Maple Weekends and hosting the public here at school.
Yeah, and it's approaching quickly, so everyone listening this morning can get it on their calendars. It's March 17th and 18th, and again the 24th and 25th.
Correct. Last 2 weekends of March, easy to remember, Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And VVS has really one of the premier educational programs for maple sugaring.
Well, it's really kind of a multifacet in that we have a production facility right here at school, in addition to the Pancake Breakfast for the public, where we showcase the students' activities.
Yeah, Pancake Breakfast. And Jonathan, you were telling me that this year the Pancake Breakfast has moved to a bigger and better location.
Yes, this year it's in the gymnasium rather than the cafeteria. We can have more seating and more comfortable seating because we bring in folding chairs rather than just the regular cafeteria tables.
And you can accommodate more people.
Yes, we can.
So, excellent. So, go over the details of each weekend.
Sure. So we start with our Pancake Breakfast is from 7:30 to noon on all 4 days. We also host wagon rides and tours of our sugar house that the students actually are the guides, that people can jump on those wagons and take about a 30-minute tour. That is free of charge, so any family that wants to come out, we run multiple wagons. It's a real nice way for people to get out after a winter and cabin fever and maybe enjoy the weekends. And
those go throughout the day?
Correct. They start at 9 in the morning, go till 3 in the afternoon.
And you have tours of the sap houses, the Maple Queen and Princess presentation, that'll be happening also? Correct.
And there's a unique, on the second Sunday, we have a tree tapping ceremony that normally involves a State Commissioner of Ag and Markets, and several of our state and local dignitaries are there. And it's really a kickoff of and celebration of all of agriculture and agritourism.
Absolutely. And then also cooking with maple. So you're offering people the opportunity to come and learn how they can use maple in more ways.
Sure. Traditionally, maple's looked at as a topping for pancakes or waffles.
Right.
And really, the industry, as it expands use, and people are kind of awakening to how can I bake and cook and use maple as a sweetener and still get a little of that maple flavor into the foods they're preparing.
Yeah. Well, we also, when we go to the grocery store and we're buying things, and we get maple-flavored bacons and things like that. So it's getting more popular in how it's being used. Absolutely.
I was going to say, speaking of going to the grocery store, folks, in the morning, will have their pancakes, get the bottle of syrup, pour it on the pancakes, but not really thinking about how it got into the bottle. Could you talk a little bit about the syrup-making process, what goes into it?
Yeah, so the syrup making process is, we tap the trees in January, and then when it starts getting warm during the days and cold during the nights, the sap will flow, and it goes through. We have a vacuum system, so we go and we collect it from the woods, and we bring it back, and we process it in the sap house. It goes through the reverse osmosis machine, which removes some water, and then we evaporate it in the evaporator, and then, we bottle it and filter and everything like that, and then it goes right to the bottle and then to you.
So how many trees are you maintaining that you're tapping and dealing with?
In total, we have somewhere just over 5,000, but that's between our woods that we manage. We've got 3 woodlots we manage, and then we also have other producers who bring us sap to produce.
That's amazing. for hands-on interaction and learning for the students. This is just an amazing model program.
It's really wild as a teacher of the concepts you can teach using maple, and most people don't understand, from starting with ag mechanics in the woods of how do we create the vacuum systems, the tubing, the interactions there, to everything on the other end of processing the foods and packaging, regulations, and we're licensed under New York State Department of Ag and Markets, so we're routinely inspected, and it's really quite an educational tool.
It is, right, from beginning to end, from start to finish. You have a full process because you're taking the students all the way through, as you say, to developing the product, to packaging, to the sales as well, because it's for sale.
Right, and even the agriculture awareness for people to understand how their food is produced, and really the spin-offs using maple to broaden out people's perspective in agriculture. How does that product get into a bottle, and what's the work involved?
Right, just what Jim said. You know, people make their selection, and then also raising awareness of buying local. You know, so that's really important as well for people to buy local and to support the industry. So, you know, and it's key that we keep this program going, and what a wonderful way for the community to be engaged and see it firsthand. I think the New York State Maple Weekends is a great program statewide, but really right here locally we have almost the perfect scenario for people to come and visit and see. So again, it's coming up very soon, so mark your calendars for March 17th and 18th and March 24th and 25th, starting very early in the morning each day, 7:30 in the morning for Pancake Breakfast, right, and running through about 3 o'clock every afternoon.
Yep, so anybody that's free and looking for something, it's unique in the agriculture. Maple tends to be one of the first harvests of a new season. It's the first crop of the season, and people can get out and enjoy. And the kids do a phenomenal job of guiding people through the process and taking care of their breakfast needs and different pancakes, etc.
Yeah. So what do you find, you know, the most fascinating part of working this whole system, Jonathan?
Really how everything comes together. I mean, from being out in the woods and seeing how, you know, one little leak, you fix that leak and the vacuum goes up by 3 pounds, to actually watching people buy the product that you produce.
So the mechanics in it are quite involved as well, in tapping the trees and, as you said, everything behind that, you know, for the students to learn all of that. Clear through, like you say, to the bottling process and then to market and to sale, I think is a great learning experience. Really brings all of the educational elements together.
We've also incorporated another nice twist that's not maple with our pancake breakfast, in that this is the 3rd consecutive year that students were involved in raising pigs on site that we had harvested this last month, and the breakfast sausage that we serve at the pancake breakfast are all grown and raised by the students. So another incorporation of agriculture here in our pancake breakfast.
Excellent. So another learning process there with that, and again, bringing it to market. So wonderful skills that the students are learning through the program. How many students are in your FFA program now?
Right now we have about 50 between the high school program that we have and another 25, 30 of our junior high members that participate in some phase, typically on the breakfast mornings with the students engaged in the tours and the guides there, and then preparing the food and helping serve it. We could have 35, 40 students involved, and a booster club that helps out with another 10, 15 adults behind the scenes.
Excellent community support for this program, and what a wonderful teaching and learning experience for the students. So it's the VVS FFA Maple Weekends. Again, statewide event, but really premier event here locally for everyone to be able to have access to and enjoy and learn through these weekends. And really the value of maple to our state's economy as well, and our local economy.
Right, and we've seen in the industry just in the last 10 years that the industry has more than tripled, almost quadrupled in production for New York State. and that's just going to continue. There's a lot of movements and support of a growing business, and again, in agriculture, it's one of the few very profitable industries that people are getting into because of the awareness of maple as a sweetener and a natural product.
As we all look for more healthier options.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, the 2018 Maple Tree Tapping Ceremony, that'll be on Sunday, March 25th. That's the only time it's happening in the 2 weekends. So that'll be at 11 a.m. So again, out on your site there at VVS. And you'll also be having a maple coloring contest that kids can get involved in.
Right. That's really an internal posting that we have that students at our school, and it is open if somebody wants to contact the school and get the guidelines for that. But it's really neat to see our youth and their perspective of what the maple industry is. So we unveil that as the coloring contest results on that day too.
Excellent. So all this information, all the details can be found at our website, oneidacountytourism.com, for the Maple Weekends. And we also link over, I know you have it on the school site and as well on this New York State Maple Weekends.
Correct.
So you can Google that. Anything else you want to talk about that people can experience? Yeah, did we cover it all?
Yeah, well, we look forward to it, and each year it's a unique experience, and it's always amazing who comes out and goes on the tours. Even if the weather's not quite as favorable and conducive, people still like to take that wagon ride and see the production and taste some of the freshest syrup produced.
Absolutely. And you can't miss out on the pancakes. So pancake breakfast, again, each morning starting at 7:30 a.m. And very reasonable. Adults are $8, and senior citizens and children under the age of 12, $6, and preschoolers are free.
Absolutely.
And we know preschoolers love those pancakes. They can eat.
We tell them, tell the preschoolers, treat their grandma and grandpa, bring them along too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. Good luck and good weather for the event.
Thanks for having us.
And we'll take